Hi, so I'm sure you've seen the many videos about the current state of GMS by various members of the community. So I want to throw my hat into the ring as well. For context, my name is Elluci. I've been playing this game, I think from the Legends update patch, which was I think December 2011. I made a Demon Slayer and I've currently played that character to this very day, and I've not really taken any breaks from Maple. So I feel like I could give some insight and the progression of how Nexon has been going throughout the years and the many changes that I see. So I'm going to just watch a couple of these videos about the current state of GMS, and yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Hey, some of you people may know me, most of you do not. For a little background, my name is Sunny. I've been playing KMS for a while, and I just figured I'd give my thoughts on this situation as someone who's on the outside looking in. Now, I want to preface this all by saying I think Maple itself, the base game, it's a very, very good game. I have few complaints with it now after all the changes they've made, but GMS is an entirely separate sort of thing from the base game. I consider them to be two completely separate things. Now, to get into the actual issues, from what I can tell, there's a couple different things that are at the core of what people dislike about everything that's going on in GMS. The biggest issue, as far as I can tell, is either the communication.
I just wanted to record this little segment because I expanded on my thoughts a little more while I was writing the description down below. So I figured I might as well just read it out since I feel like I go more in depth here.
Legacy items.
To reiterate, I genuinely agree with the frustrations on display throughout Copper's
diving
video,
into the whole communication
but I
issue.
didn't completely agree with the direction his video took.
Communication.
Maplestory is very much a love the game, hate the developer type of experience. It pretty much always has been.
This has been going on for
and
years
while
and
it's
years,
seemingly non-stop, the slew of issues at the moment, I don't agree that the game isn't worth playing. From a purely gameplay look at Maplestory in 2023, the game has never been better. Reboot is showing just how good this game can be. Leveling is faster than it has ever been. Resources are easier to obtain than they have ever been. And classes generally are seeing the positive changes that they've needed for years. In some places even decades. There's a ton that is wrong with the game. Don't get it twisted. GMS is a mess, caught in a constant state of release non-KMS content that will make money and remove non-KMS content that doesn't make money, messes with balance, breaks the progression curve Korea had in mind, a million and one other excuses that Nexon can and likely will come up with. However, I don't see this changing anytime soon. GMS has not had a dev team here in America to support this region's version of the game for a couple of years now, meaning that the sole responsibility for coding everything to work on GMS is left up to the understaffed and underfunded overseas team in Korea.
It devalued items like
so these things that have been major problems in the region for years, it shouldn't be there, as Copper-san said in the video, is a really bad argument to make when the team that is working on the game is not the same team that added this content originally. They likely are also unaware of how little or how great the impact of specific things are for different regions. They're not the ones that implemented a lot of this content. They really wouldn't know unless they've played this region for so long like we have as players, how impactful these things are, which explains why it might take a long time for them to seemingly come to the realization that, holy cow, this is pretty broken, why hasn't this been removed? Why has Kana had a monopoly on the only source of spawn boosters outside of this giga expensive pay-to-win totem for going on 10 years? GMS is in a catch-22 of being an overseas server created by a developer team that had different ideals and plans for the game as a service than the team that is currently tasked with maintaining and supporting it in the long run. Nexon Korea is giga xenophobic with unofficial Maplestory content. So the old just add X to KMS argument, just add Kana spawn boosters, just increase the spawn, it'll never work. This stuff made outside of Nexon Korea is not even considered Maplestory in their eyes. They look at it as something completely devoid of value because they are not the region that created it. As far as addressing his second point with the Meso shop changes, I wanted to touch on it as well. Copper-San kind of, intentionally or not, glosses over the main reason why the shop got increased. Bosses up to normal Lotus and Damien give more Meso in GMS than in Korea, and that's the meta. And these bosses are significantly easier to get mules up to thanks to non-KMS content. Galax, especially, non-KMS links in Legion, and non-KMS events. Clover Guild being the most recent and one of the most powerful we've ever had, and the list goes on. So while it might not be exactly twice as many Mesos that we're making over Korea, taking all these things into consideration, it takes less time to get to the point where you're making more Mesos in GMS Reboot than in KMS Reboot by farming normal Lomian and down for your boss mules. Which is the meta. That's what everyone does. So a price change is semi-justifiable. I don't agree with it. I think it's gatekeeping bullshit, but I understand it. As far as the reboot server shop changes, he's just wrong. Frenzy does over double our rates in some instances. For the best mobbers in the game on base spawn, you're looking at 17, 18k mobs per hour, maybe. The best mobbers in the game on frenzied spawn are pushing close to 50,000 mobs per hour. That's not just double, that's over double. So it's very justifiable for GMS Reg servers prices to also be affected. Not to mention, GMS Reg also has a massive Meso farmer problem right now with the Spanish Mafia, which is dragging our Meso value down lower and lower with every passing month. So look at this like you're a Korean developer who's only ever played Maplestory in Korea. Looking from the outside in on the GMS experience and trying to balance it, it looks like we're a fucking fiesta over here. And by all means, we pretty much are. But it's like, GMS will almost assuredly be in this double standard situation for the foreseeable future. That's a shit situation to be caught in, but it's the one we're stuck with. It's a very justified reason to be upset, and I don't disagree with how Copper-San feels on this. I just don't disagree. I just don't agree with the topics and how he positioned them and tried to portray it. This is definitely a stain on Nexon's reputation, but fucking most of Nexon's existence is a stain on Nexon's reputation. They don't need any help in that respect. But that's just my 2 cents here.
You start to rely on
video?
luck for
like,
drops.
On one hand, I share the frustration that he feels,
which is extremely rare to get.
It's very easy to play the devil's advocate for this situation because all of the things that have been removed were added to the game back when GMS had a local dev team. GMS no longer has
it goes back to the first issue with communication because
so it's not a case of
really
like
said anything about
content keeps getting removed.
You know
but
that
we keep having non-KMS events. It's more that non-KMS content that was added by the previous generation of devs for GMS that no longer exists.
Hey YouTube, Copper-San here. I actually wanted to make a Is It Worth Playing Maplestory in 2023 video, but I feel that there is a need to address the current state of the game first with this video before I make that one, because there are a lot of concerning developments that we need to talk about. Maplestory Global and Maplestory C are both turning 18 years old this month, which is an incredible achievement for any live service game out there, and the game itself is already 20 years old. Now, the direction that the game has been going has at sometimes been a bit questionable, and most Maplestory players has learned to work with the hand that they've been dealt, but right now there is a lot of frustration within the community due to some of the regional exclusive changes, like the bigger nerfs to the combat class last year that had a big impact on players maining that class. To give some context, most classes who get nerfed lose maybe 3 to 5% final damage or just regular damage. Kana lost 60% of final damage on some of her skills at max boost node level, and it doesn't matter if that was justified or not, because we don't know the balance. We can discuss that for ages, we just don't know. My main issue is that such a big nerf was needed after the skills being in the game like that for over 3 years. Why not change it after 1 month? If you check it and you see the balance is really bad, that such a big nerf is justified. And the removal of spawn boosters after being in the game for years, while simultaneously also keeping them in other regions, and not adjusting the base spawn rate after removal or anything else like that. And I don't want to drag a dead horse, but if something is broken in your live service game that you keep checking, that you keep updating, it's so broken that it has to be removed, that it shouldn't be in the game for you. I think it's great that there's a big impact on the balance, it just shouldn't be there, at least not for that long. Last few weeks though, Nexon has been on a bit of a hot streak with even more controversial changes. With the biggest being the announcement of the removal of an entire class, and big nerfs to event stores that both came out of nowhere. This creates two huge issues that I think aren't talked about enough, so I want to share my thoughts on this video. And one example of how Nexon is managing this game at the moment. The first issue is that Nexon just heavily adjusts the game's region-exclusive content without any regard to its player base. But I mean it is not worth now removing a class from the game. To me, this shows a severe lack of long-term planning and assigned resources to regions like Maplestory Global and Maplestory. If a class is super broken, it should be fixed. Jet has been in the game for close to a decade, and now it's being removed because it breaks things. Then why is it allowed to break things for over a decade already? Now, I'm not a coder, and I'm pretty sure that working with a 20-year-old code base is probably hell, but everything that is broken can be fixed in no time, even if you actually build it from the ground up. But Nexon is looking for how to commit any resources into fixing what's broken. Same goes with the flame transfer change in Mercy. This came out of nowhere and has been in the game for years. If it was such a big issue, why wasn't it addressed earlier? To me, it seems like there is no one checking how classes or content work, and every time someone does check, they see like, oh my god, this is broken and bugged, we should just remove it, instead of taking their time to fix it. And this, if it's broken, just remove it, play it working, this is horrible. Let's say you pick a main live service game, that's because the players lose trust every time something is removed, they spend time and resources on it. Why should I invest in my character if it suddenly gets heavily nerfed without any follow-up or announcements, or worse, what if my class suddenly gets changed to a different class? Why spend money or time into something that can be changed on a whim? Why is Nexon even releasing this content if they don't want to do the upkeep? In my opinion, if you make a commitment to add something big to the game like a class or getting junky content, rules and rate your commitment really bad, by the way, and this is what it is like every Nexon. You can't just release stuff and say 4 years later, like, oh, actually, I don't want to deal with this anymore, so we're just gonna remove it. One thing that I also really don't understand is from a company perspective, interpretation is very important. When it's something, especially when you offer them commit long-term to a live service game. However, all the recent actions that Nexon has Maplestory things the exact opposite. I don't know who realized this, but it seems to disregard how players react to this and view Nexon as a whole. Like saying Nexon is a new game. Would you play this with your main class or other game? Nothing. Saying this, I don't think so. I think you can tell your friends to not play any Nexon game because of your bad experience. Now, it's no secret that Nexon's the biggest profits are coming from India and China, but at some point I'm wondering why people publish their games in the West if this is how they're dealing with them, as they have no regard to the impact of their actions on their brand or their game or their players, and it's just not perspective. And I'm not talking about the Nexon America or Maplestory local teams, this is only about what development decisions are being made. I do not want to be in their shoes. I head to work one day, see a nice email waiting for me that I have to announce the delete of every class. That does not sound more ways on Monday to me. So issue number one, Nexon is making so many bad choices with turns a little bit and adjustments and they just don't want to spend any time or money in the region, which hurts their brand and makes their players lose trust with every bad change they make for the sake of what, having one or two developers on the team. They do not seem to be committed whatsoever to publish in the West, which is quite crazy to me. And also makes me wonder why you should even spend time or money on your games. There's no commitment from the developer. Issue number 2 is a recent Meso event change. The price of the item will double without any real explanation why. Live service games making changes for the reason 1 is that the existing game has changed and needs to be adjusted, like for example there are game waste without Meso worried about what expenses next. Reason 1 is that players can play or spend more, increasing the time they spend in the game or your revenue don't actually by making things hard to get. This change is really and it just overall sucks for everyone else. So I did some digging and I want to see if I can figure out which one it is. So maybe sort of forgetting on the store price. Actually, the hardware in the developers has been cool maybe forward. But do we then get twice as many Mesos as well? So the Mesos are the same. Versus is the same. We do have Maplestory, which reports about 350 million per week if you don't buy any for boss crystals, the baseline mobile and Maple, but I don't wish to four modes and Damians hit more masses than Maria. But after those bosses, Maple is like a Meso. Yeah, 28 builds for the Black Mage, which is almost 3 times as much as our region. The other big difference being frenzy totems whose spawn rate in regular servers, but those don't double your rate. So while in the early game, I want them to invest in I want everyone to invest in Maple Maria. And we get more Mesos from the Rhino one of the frenzy in regular servers, but there's no way that we get twice as many Mesos, and definitely not the dream. What also is interesting is that next to release the event called the Clover Guild event, the shape next to all Mesos, and this event was running early this year for nothing. So it's gone from being there was like too many Mesos, because our economy is in such a bad shape that price will double. There's no way that next year adds another event to give out more Mesos, right? Or they could, for example, adjust however to array will stand prices for totems to be shape. Why does this event store need to be more expensive? They already removed the long boosters from our manufacturing rate, already gone down by a bit. What's crystal to me is that next just wants to squeeze players. Play the game more or spend more money to get more Mesos in regular server. Which is really crazy, considering I just spent most of this video talking about how content removal and nerfs are very good sellers. Sorry guys for deleting a nerf release. The next event will then spend time on fixing it. But please spend some more money and play our game more, okay? This is so tone deaf and just insulting to the players. How does this expect us to play any of their perks if this is how you do with your players? Why should I pay for bad servers and nerfs to my progression for no other reason? I don't know. I really think that there is to be a bigger shift in how Nexon manages their games outside of their main regions. Because right now, Maplestory is just not worth playing, and it's just worth the brand by the way they're running it. I just don't get it, man. It's just so little. I don't reach the services. You take your legacy friends, there was a next layer of trust by just saving one of your this game will be published to begin with. But that's all I had to say for today. I'm just quite a bit frustrated with the way things are going with Maplestory. Like many others, I still have this game and I really enjoy playing it, but this is just hurts me next to I'm just a Maplestory so much damage to the game just for the sake of saving one or two dead pieces. What do you think of all the recent changes that you made to the game yourself and the way things have been managed? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching to this rant video, and as always, I can just make it and that's all I have to say. PC game line, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. Make a video.
My responsibility
Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe.
Thanks for doing big bad corporate things.
As always,
Also remove Evan, please.
See you guys.
get some chicken wings now. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
So yeah, that's my thoughts on the current Maplestory. Thanks for watching.